Have you ever looked up at the star-dusted canvas of the night sky and felt a profound sense of wonder? Have you ever questioned the very fabric of your existence? Is this reality we experience every day a grand cosmic stage, a sophisticated computer simulation, or perhaps a dream from which we have yet to awaken? These are not idle thoughts. They are some of the most fundamental questions our species has ever dared to ask. They echo through the halls of science, philosophy, and late-night conversations under the stars. They connect us to our ancestors who gazed at the same sky and asked the same questions, and they propel us toward a future of discovery. The quest to understand our place in the cosmos is a deeply human endeavor. We are pattern-seeking creatures, driven by an insatiable curiosity to make sense of the world around us. From the smallest subatomic particle to the largest galactic supercluster, we build models and theories to explain the mechanics of the universe. But what about the nature of consciousness itself? What about the why behind the what? Today, we will embark on a journey through 3 fascinating and provocative ideas that attempt to answer these very questions: Tom Campbell's My Big Toe, Jim Elvidge's digital consciousness, and the concept of spiral consciousness. These frameworks are not just abstract intellectual exercises. They are invitations to see our lives, our challenges, and our purpose from a radically different perspective. They push the boundaries of conventional thinking, blending insights from physics, computer science, and spiritual inquiry. By exploring them, we are not necessarily seeking a single, definitive answer. Instead, we are participating in the grand, ongoing conversation about the nature of reality. We are flexing our intellectual and spiritual muscles, preparing ourselves for new ways of understanding what it means to be alive and aware in this magnificent universe. So let's open our minds and set our imaginations free. Let's venture beyond the familiar shores of everyday perception and into the deep waters of speculative thought. Whether you are a seasoned explorer of metaphysical ideas or a curious newcomer, there is something here for you. We will navigate these complex concepts with a spirit of open inquiry, using simple language and relatable metaphors. Our goal is not to convince you of one truth, but to illuminate a spectrum of possibilities, empowering you to continue your own exploration of the cosmos, both within and without. Imagine for a moment that our reality is not a physical objective place, but an incredibly advanced virtual simulation. This is the core idea behind physicist Tom Campbell's My Big Toe, which stands for Theory of Everything. In this model, the fundamental reality is not matter or energy but consciousness itself. A primordial source which Campbell calls the Absolute Unbounded Oneness, or AUO, created our virtual universe as a kind of cosmic schoolhouse. We as individual units of consciousness have chosen to immerse ourselves in this simulation to learn, to grow, and to evolve. Our purpose here is to lower our entropy, which in this context means reducing our fear, ego, and selfishness. According to Campbell, the primary rule of this cosmic game is love. Love, in his framework, is not just an emotion, but a fundamental quality of consciousness defined by caring, cooperation, and connection. It is the opposite of fear, which is the root of all our limitations, conflicts, and negative behaviors. Every choice we make, every interaction we have is an opportunity to choose love over fear. The challenges we face, loss, hardship, and conflict, are not random misfortunes. They are carefully designed learning opportunities, like difficult levels in a video game, meant to test our resolve and encourage us to make more compassionate, less self-centered choices. This perspective offers a powerful way to reframe our daily struggles. If life is a learning simulator, then mistakes are not failures. They are simply data points. They show us where we still have fear-based programming and where we need to improve our code. The goal is not to achieve a perfect life free of problems, but to evolve the quality of our consciousness. Campbell suggests that after our physical bodies die, our consciousness returns to the larger system, reviews the data from our lifetime, and prepares for the next level or incarnation. The ultimate aim is to evolve to a point where we fully embody the quality of love and can graduate from this particular virtual reality. The practical advice from my big toe is straightforward yet profound. Act from a place of love. In any situation, ask yourself, is this choice motivated by fear, ego, and self-interest, or is it motivated by caring for the greater good? By consciously choosing the latter, you are not only improving your own experience but also contributing to the positive evolution of the entire system. You become an active participant in reducing the collective entropy of consciousness. It's a call to take responsibility for your own growth, seeing every moment as a chance to become a better, more loving version of yourself within this grand cosmic curriculum. Now let's explore a similar yet distinct idea. Jim Elvidge's theory of digital consciousness. Like Campbell, Elvidge proposes that our reality is fundamentally informational. However, he leans more heavily into the language of computer science. In this view, the universe is a massive computational system, a kind of conscious matrix. Everything we perceive, from the chair you're sitting on to the light from a distant star, is made of data. Our reality is rendered, bit by bit, just like the graphics in a video game. Our awareness is not something that arises from the brain, rather our brain is a biological processor that receives and interprets a stream of data from this larger conscious system. Elvidge points to clues from quantum physics, such as the observer effect, where particles behave differently when measured, and quantum entanglement, as evidence that reality is not fixed until it is observed or computed. He suggests these phenomena make more sense if we think of reality as a program that only renders what is necessary when it is necessary. Our lives in this model are like individual subroutines running within the master program. We have a degree of free will, but it operates within the rules and parameters of the underlying code. The purpose of our existence is to experience, process information, and contribute new data back to the system. This theory paints a picture of a universe that is both deterministic and interactive. The laws of physics are the algorithms that govern the simulation. Our personal experiences, our memories, and even our emotions are complex informational patterns. When we interact with the world, we are essentially querying the system's database and receiving a rendered output. This might sound cold or impersonal, but Elvidge suggests the matrix itself is conscious. We are not just cogs in a machine. We are expressions of a universal awareness that is exploring all possibilities through us. We are the universe experiencing itself through a digital lens. The practical takeaway from digital consciousness is to become a more skilled user of the system. If reality is information, then our focus and intention are incredibly powerful tools. They are the commands we use to interact with the code. By learning to direct our attention, practice mindfulness, and question our assumptions about what is real, we can potentially influence the data stream we receive. It encourages us to be curious experimenters in our own lives, testing the boundaries of the program. It suggests that by changing our internal state, our personal code, we can change the reality that is rendered for us, making our experience less of a default program and more of a custom-designed adventure. While the simulation and digital models offer compelling structures, there is another way to view our existence, as a living, breathing, and ever-expanding spiral. This idea, often found in developmental psychology and various wisdom traditions, is known as spiral consciousness. It suggests that reality and consciousness are not static or linear, but are constantly evolving in a cyclical, upward-moving pattern. Think of the shape of a galaxy, a seashell, or a climbing vine. Each loop of the spiral revisits similar themes and challenges, but from a higher, more integrated level of understanding. We are not here to pass a test or run a program. We are here to participate in the endless unfolding of cosmic creativity. In this model, there is no final destination, no game over, and no graduation. The journey itself is the point. Growth is not about reaching a state of perfection, but about continuously expanding our capacity for awareness, complexity, and compassion. Each stage of the spiral represents a different worldview or way of making sense of reality. We might move from a very tribal, safety-oriented consciousness to a more rule-based, traditional one, then to a rational, achievement-focused mindset, and onward to more holistic and globally integrated perspectives. The beauty of the spiral is that it honors and includes all the previous stages. Nothing is left behind. It is all part of our evolutionary story. Unlike the school or video game metaphors, which imply an external designer or programmer, spiral consciousness often views reality as a self-organizing system. The universe is alive and we are an integral part of its creative process. We are not separate from the cosmos, we are the cosmos spiraling into new forms of being. This perspective frees us from the pressure of getting it right. There is no single correct path, only the unique spiral of your own journey. The challenges you face are not tests to be passed, but catalysts that propel you to the next turn of the spiral, forcing you to develop new skills and a wider perspective. The practical wisdom of the spiral is to embrace change and trust the process. When you find yourself facing a familiar problem or pattern, don't despair. Recognize that you are revisiting a theme from a new, higher vantage point. You are not stuck, you are deepening your understanding. This model encourages us to be patient with ourselves and others, recognizing that everyone is at a different point on their own spiral. It invites us to be lifelong learners, always curious about what the next turn will reveal. Your purpose is not to finish the race, but to dance the spiral with grace, courage, and an open heart. At first glance, these three models, a cosmic school, a digital matrix, and an unfolding spiral, might seem worlds apart. One casts us as students, another as users in a program, and the third as dancers in a cosmic rhythm. However, if we look closer, we can see a beautiful convergence of ideas, a common thread weaving through these different tapestries of reality. All three theories fundamentally challenge the old idea that matter is the basis of everything. Instead, they propose that consciousness and information are the primary stuff of the universe. Reality is not a collection of dead objects. It is a living, intelligent, and interactive system. This shared foundation is revolutionary. Whether you call it the absolute unbounded oneness, the conscious matrix, or the living cosmos, the message is the same. The universe is aware, and we are part of that awareness. Furthermore, all three models agree that our existence has a purpose, and that purpose is growth. We are here to evolve. Campbell calls it lowering our entropy and choosing love. Elvidge might see it as processing information and debugging our personal code. The spiral model frames it as expanding our awareness and moving to higher levels of complexity. The language differs, but the core directive is identical: become more. The key difference lies in the structure and finality of this growth. My big toe and digital consciousness present a more structured, goal-oriented reality. There is a system, there are rules, and there is an objective: to graduate from school or to successfully run the program. This can be incredibly comforting, providing a clear map and a sense of ultimate purpose. Spiral consciousness, on the other hand, presents a more open-ended, organic vision of growth. It suggests that the process is infinite. There is no final graduation, only the next beautiful, challenging turn of the spiral. The universe is not a project to be completed, but a symphony that is eternally composing itself. This distinction is crucial. Do we find more meaning in a universe with a defined end goal, or in one that is endlessly creative and exploratory? The structured models provide a sense of security and direction, like a well-designed curriculum. The spiral model offers a sense of freedom and infinite possibility, like an uncharted territory waiting to be explored. Neither is necessarily more correct than the other. They may even be different facets of the same underlying truth, different metaphors for describing the indescribable. The universe may well be a school whose curriculum is an endless spiral, all running on a quantum informational operating system. So where does this cosmic exploration leave us? We have journeyed through reality as a school, a program, and a spiral. We have seen how these ideas, while different, point toward a universe that is conscious, purposeful, and geared for growth. The most important question now is not which theory is right, but which idea resonates with you. Which model provides a framework that makes your life feel more meaningful, more hopeful, and more empowered? The true value of these theories is not their absolute proof, but their practical application in our daily lives. They are tools for perspective. If you connect with My Big Toe, your path is to practice love and compassion in every interaction. See every challenge as a lesson from the universe designed for your growth. When you feel fear or anger, recognize it as a signal that you have an opportunity to lower your entropy and evolve. If the idea of digital consciousness sparks your curiosity, then see yourself as a co-creator interacting with a responsive, informational reality. Practice mindfulness and focused intention as your primary tools for programming your experience. Get curious about the glitches and synchronicities in your life, seeing them as clues about the underlying code. And if the image of the spiral calls to you, then embrace the cyclical nature of your life. Trust that you are always growing, even when it feels like you are revisiting old ground. Be patient with your journey and celebrate the process of unfolding. See yourself not as a student trying to pass a test, but as a dancer moving with the rhythm of an ever-expanding cosmos. Your purpose is to fully inhabit each turn of the spiral, bringing your unique awareness and creativity to the cosmic dance. You are not here to finish the story but to become a more eloquent and beautiful storyteller. Ultimately, these models are just maps, they are not the territory itself. The universe is far grander and more mysterious than any single theory can capture. I invite you to remain curious, to keep asking the big questions, and to be open to new ways of seeing. Don't just accept one answer. Live the questions themselves. See yourself as an explorer, a scientist of your own consciousness, gathering data from your own experience. For in this grand, spiraling and perhaps simulated cosmos, you are not a passive observer. You are an active participant, a co-creator, and a vital piece of the magnificent puzzle of existence itself.